because I want to share some things with you, and I wanted to get your honest opinion before I get into my presentation. And I'm going to pull up some things. I have it on Google. All right, cool. So let's do this. Marcelina, let's go. Demian, let's go. Andrea, I want your guys' contribution. When you see this, yeah, it is a hotel. When you see the hotel in yellow on the right-hand side, like what comes to mind? Does that feel luxurious? Does that feel like a high-end hotel? Let's go, Marcelina. Does that feel like North Star where you're currently at?
No, it does not.
Okay, when you look at that, what does it feel like to you?
It feels like it needs a facelift.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, I
It
agree.
needs a little bit of love.
Looks like it needs a little bit of love. Okay, cool. And then let's just look at this here. Does the pool look like one of those really, really cool, prestigious pools like that you go and it's luxurious? Did it look like that when I started this? Does this pool out look really, really nice, Marcelina?
No.
All right, cool. So let's go back to this picture right here in the middle, and let's go Demian. Demian, what's this say? You're going to Southern California. Does this epitomize your Southern California vacation with the kids? Demian, that's you.
Yeah, no. I was trying to get my take. Not really.
Not really. When you see this, what does it spark for you? Does this say luxury? Does this say, man, let's spend, a G a night to stay here? What do you see when you see this?
I see discount or on the run.
Okay, discount or on the run. Okay, I love this. I love this. Let's go over to Andrea. Same thing. All right, I'll just pull up this. Actually, I'm not going to pull up that because I'm going to wait for this. Let's just pull up here. You're on a family vacation, Southern California, Hollywood, like Hollywood, California, in the heart of Los Angeles. What does this say to you?
Oh, this feels very outdated, very much. Definitely, like someone said in the comments, low budget. I'm definitely like trying to get there and be there as cheap as possible. It really looks like a place that you wouldn't want to bring your kids to unless you really had to.
Okay. All right, cool. And I appreciate your guys' sentiment. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation, because if you could see here, I'm on TripAdvisor right now. This particular hotel has 3,733 reviews. It's labeled at a 4.5, so it is right at excellent. Some people labeled it like okay, but for most of the people that were surveyed, they surveyed this hotel at a 4.5, which is really, really incredible. And you can see their travel rating here, excellent and very good. So those were the top two categories. And so when you look at this, you say, there's really not much to this hotel. It looks a little bit dated. It actually is an old apartment building that was converted in the 1950s, and now is called the Magic Castle Hotel. But stay with me because there's a point to this entire message here. The Magic Castle Hotel is ranked one of 3 top-rated hotels in all of LA. Their ratings triumphed the Ritz-Carlton, they triumphed the Four Seasons, Marriott, Hilton, and some brands that we all identify with. But before we go any further, I want to get to Demian's hand because I don't want to get too far in this conversation yet. Demian, you got a hand up.
I don't want to spoil your point, but now I know exactly what hotel that is. And the pictures were a little deceiving, but never mind.
Listen, the website doesn't know justice, but I think that's the whole point of this, and I'm glad you're making the correlation already. So check it out, over 3,000 reviews on TripAdvisor, and 93% of the guests rated it excellent or very good, and I share that with you. And it's not that appealing. It's, like I said, it's a converted 2-story apartment from the 1950s. Canary yellow is the color. Andrea, I'm sure you like the color. Looks like you have a yellowish color on right now.
Right.
But here's the thing that they've done a really, really good job at. And it goes back to everything that we do here. And I was thinking about you guys, and I was thinking about your consumer journey. Listen, some of you might have tons and tons of years of experience. Jay is on here, Chris is on here. You might have tons and tons of experience. Well, some of you may not have the experience. You may not have the resources. You may not have all the tools. You may not have everything set in place, but what you have, and each of us have in us, is an ability to create an experience for the consumer. And this is what I really want you guys to start to unpack, and I want you to look at this. We've talked about the consumer journey in the past, but what I want you to do is I want you to look at that entire process of working with you and saying, what are the defining moments and what are the experiences that I'm creating for my consumers that are a cut above the rest of the competition? And here's the thing. You would think that a hotel like this, when you rival a Ritz-Carlton, when you rival some of the really fancy places in Hollywood, wouldn't even stand up or wouldn't even be able to compete. But here they are competing, and they always have, and they've always won in so many different categories. And here's why. A couple reasons why is, first off, they have a snack menu that you can get a list of goodies like Kit Kats, root beers, Cheetos at no cost. For the children, there's magicians at breakfast, unlimited laundry, and it's not that they just come get your laundry, you put it in a plastic bag and you write on one of those sheets of paper that are on the outside of the bag. No, they come and get your clothes, and then they hand deliver your clothes, wrap up in butcher paper, closed up with twine, and a little nice message on top. And you just got to think about that small little experience. So those small things have really separated them. And then the one thing that has always defined them is that what the Magic Castle offers, and what they've figured out, to please consumers, you need to obsess over every detail. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back of the room. In order to please consumers, we need to obsess about every single detail. And I want you to unpack that, and I want you to look at it, and I want you to start grading yourself, and I want you to start breaking down your process from the moment you hop on a phone call. How did you make that person feel? What were the type of questions that elicited the type of responses that you truly, truly wanted from a consumer? When you did a showing, when you pulled up, were you flustered, or did you have something for them? Did they have a little nice notepad? You gave them a pen, and shucks, it was an actual branded pen, and they're walking around and that pen wrote very, very well, like, ooh, I like this pen. I'm gonna put that in my pocket for later, right? What kind of experience was it? Were you prepared? Did you have all the answers? Did you have some cold water in your car because you know it's cold or hot out right now? Did you have some snacks for the kids? Did you get on show and 4 and you know that the kids are running crazy, but you got some snacks, you got some stuff in the car for them? How was your buyer's consultation? How connected did you feel with their journey, their process, their involvement, their emotional attachment to wanting to buy a home right now? How well do you address the emotional concerns that they have, the fears, the trepidation, the doubt, the uncertainty about the market? And am I making a good investment? Is this good for me and my family? Am I going to feel safe here in this neighborhood? How am I reviewing the disclosures, the reports, the escrow process? And how am I going through all of these things, making sure that that experience is an experience that's a cut above the rest? And listen, you don't have to have all the fancy tools. What you have to do is you have to make people feel a certain way. And that's why I wanted to share this with you. And the one thing, when interviewed, when asked tons and tons of questions about how people rated this hotel, this was the one thing that separated them amongst all of the things at all of the other resorts, is they have a fucking popsicle line. And I want to share this thought with you guys. They have a popsicle line. And what is the popsicle line? Well, what you do is you call, and they will bring you on a silver tray with white gloves. They'll bring you a flavor of either cherry, orange, or grape popsicles for free while your kids are hanging out at that pool. Now, do you think that the kids are going to remember that the place looked ugly and it was built in the 1950s and the rooms were meh, right? The rooms were not that cool. Do you think that your 7-year-old would remember calling the the Popsicle Hotline? Do you guys think they'll remember that? They'll remember that. So when they get home and they're writing a review about the place, how they checked in, that process, the white glove service, the laundry service, making sure that they were able to get any types of snacks, Kit Kats, root beers, Cheetos, whatever they wanted. But man, Dad, do you remember the Popsicle Hotline? Wasn't that so cool? So my question to you guys this morning, and obviously I'm excited. Like I said, I didn't give a shit who came today. I didn't care if it was me, Andrea, this morning. I was still gonna run my route. Maybe I'll do this presentation later on, and I might do this presentation on stage one day because I think that there's some bones here. But what I wanna ask all of you is, what's your Popsicle Hotline? What's your Popsicle Hotline? What is your defining moment throughout your presentation that says, wow, that is unlike anything that I ever experienced or thought I would experience? And I want you guys to unpack that. So my question to you guys this morning is, what is your Popsicle Hotline? And what separates your presentation from any other presentation out there? What separates your buying process, your investor presentation, your listing presentation, or you working with the consumer, helping them understand how to get their finances in order and the questions that you ask them, so on and so forth? What is your Popsicle Hotline?